My friends, I invite you to open your heart and listen carefully, for there is one sentence that holds the power to turn darkness into light, lack into abundance, fear into faith. This sentence is not long or complicated, yet it carries within it the vibration of divine truth. It is the key that unlocks doors which seemed forever closed. It is the flame that burns away doubt and makes way for miracles. When spoken with conviction, when felt with the full force of your spirit, it reshapes the world around you. For the outer world is but a reflection of the inner word, and the word you declare becomes flesh, becomes circumstance, becomes destiny. The one key point that must be understood is that your word is power. What you speak, whether in moments of faith or moments of fear, becomes the seed planted in the fertile soil of your life. Every sentence you utter carries energy, and that energy either creates blessings or summons burdens. Most people drift through their days unaware of the creative force resting on their tongue. They repeat phrases of lack, constantly saying they cannot afford this or that, declaring that life is hard, love is scarce, or opportunities never come their way. Without knowing it, they are watering weeds instead of flowers. But the moment a person awakens to the truth that words are not empty, that they are commands sent out into the universe, a great shift takes place. This shift is the realization that the mouth is a divine instrument, and every word spoken is a decree to life itself. When you speak with faith, when you affirm what you desire as if it already belongs to you, you step into your rightful authority as a creator. Imagine standing in a garden with seeds in your hand. If you plant roses, roses will grow. If you plant thorns, thorns will grow. The soil does not discriminate, it only responds. In the same way, the universe does not judge the words you speak, it simply brings them to pass. If you declare lack, it shows up. If you declare abundance, it appears. The choice lies with you, and the power lies in your word. To speak is not merely to pass air through the lips. To speak is to shape destiny. That is why one sentence, spoken with unwavering faith, can change everything. It cuts through doubt, reshapes circumstances, and calls forth blessings that once seemed beyond reach. There is magic in repetition, for each time you affirm a truth, you carve it deeper into your spirit. At first, the mind may resist. It may whisper, "This is not true, nothing has changed." But the wise soul ignores appearances, for appearances are only the shadows of old beliefs. Reality bends to the word when the word is spoken with conviction. The universe always rearranges itself to match the vibration of the decree. This is the law, unchanging and eternal. Therefore, the tongue must become a faithful servant, not a careless master. Every time you say, "I now receive my good by divine right," you are striking down fear. You are commanding the gates of abundance to open, and they must open. The power of the spoken word is the power to transform. It is the secret door to success, the key to health, wealth, and happiness. One sentence can rewrite the story of your life if only you believe it. Guard your words, for they are not idle. They are alive, they are creative, and they will not return empty. Speak only that which you wish to see, and the second key point is that faith must replace fear, for the two cannot exist in the same space. Fear is the shadow that blocks the light of your good, while faith is the torch that guides it straight into your hands. Too many people speak words of desire yet hold fear in their hearts, and then they wonder why their declarations do not bear fruit. It is not enough to say the words. You must believe them, you must feel them, you must trust that what you call forth is already on its way. Faith is the magnet, the invisible cord that pulls the unseen into the seen. Without faith, words fall flat, like seeds scattered on stony ground. With faith, words take root and flourish into the garden of your destiny. The challenge is that fear feels so loud, so convincing, because it shows itself through appearances, empty pockets, unanswered prayers, closed doors. But appearances are not the truth. They are only the residue of yesterday's thoughts. Faith looks beyond the visible and holds firmly to the invisible promise that all is well and all is possible. When you declare, "I now receive all that is mine by divine right," fear will try to argue. It will whisper, "How can this be? Where will it come from? What if it never arrives?" But the soul must silence fear with the louder voice of faith. You must answer back and say, "It is already mine. The supply is already prepared. The universe has already delivered." Fear will knock again, but each time you respond with faith, you weaken its grip. Eventually, fear will lose its power and faith will stand unchallenged. This is the secret. You cannot entertain both, for they are opposites. To cling to one is to banish the other. Choose faith, and life unfolds with grace. Choose fear, and life becomes a struggle. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is certainty. It is the inner knowing that what is unseen is more powerful than what is seen. It is the confidence that you live under divine law, and divine law never fails. Just as surely as a seed will grow when planted in the earth, your word will grow when planted in faith. There may be a waiting period, just as a farmer must wait for the harvest, but faith sustains you in that waiting. It keeps you steady, it keeps you hopeful, it keeps you aligned with the promise. Fear, on the other hand, uproots the seed before it can grow. It digs into the soil with doubt, disturbing the process. That is why one moment of faith is stronger than years of fear. Faith sets the law in motion, and the law does not fail. Therefore, guard your heart against fear as carefully as you guard your lips against idle words. Whenever fear rises, replace it instantly with faith. Speak the word with confidence, and act as though your good is already here, for in truth it is. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, and when you walk across it with courage, you will find that everything you have spoken and believed has been waiting for you all along. The third key point is that divine order governs all things, and when you trust in it, every step of your journey aligns perfectly with your highest good. Many people live in constant struggle, trying to force outcomes, rushing after what they believe they must control, or worrying about how their desires will ever come to pass. Yet the truth is that nothing needs to be forced, because the universe already has a perfect plan. When you affirm that everything comes to you in divine order, you release the burden of struggle and allow life to flow toward you with grace and ease. What seems delayed is not denied. It is only preparing itself to arrive in the right way, at the right time, through the right channel. To live in harmony with divine order is to let go of impatience and anxiety, knowing that the unseen hand is arranging every detail for your good. When a door closes, most people cry out in despair, not realizing that divine order has saved them from a path that was not meant for them. When a delay arises, they grow restless, unaware that the delay is often a protection, a preparation, or a redirection towards something far greater. The universe wastes nothing. What looks like confusion to human eyes is perfect alignment in the spiritual realm. When you declare, "Everything now comes to me in perfect order," you anchor yourself in peace. You step out of the chaos of fear and into the calm certainty that nothing can go wrong when guided by divine law. Life may twist and turn, but those very turns are leading you exactly where you need to be. Divine order is like a master composer, weaving every note into a symphony that seems chaotic when heard in fragments, but glorious when played in full. Each disappointment, each delay, each detour is a note in that symphony, and when the final piece is revealed, you will understand why it had to be that way. The task is not to question the arrangement, but to trust it. Faith in divine order frees the mind from constant worry. It allows you to say, "I may not see how, but I know it is already done." And in that knowing, you create the conditions for miracles. For miracles are not accidents. They are the natural result of divine order unfolding in ways that surpass human understanding. The beauty of divine order is that it never fails. No matter how chaotic appearances may seem, the law is working silently, steadily, unshakably. When you rest in this truth, you no longer chase after opportunities or people. You no longer cling in desperation to outcomes. Instead, you become magnetic, drawing to yourself exactly what belongs to you by right, at the moment when it can serve your highest good. To live in divine order is to live free of fear, free of struggle, free of doubt. It is to surrender with confidence, knowing that all things are working together for your blessing. Speak it often, believe it deeply, and you will find your life unfolding with a beauty and harmony you never imagined. The fourth key point is that imagination is the workshop of creation, and what you consistently hold in your mind will eventually be carved into your reality. Every great achievement, every invention, every work of art first lived in the realm of imagination before it appeared in the material world. The same is true of your desires, your dreams, and the circumstances of your life. What you picture in your inner vision becomes a blueprint that the universe follows to build your outer experience. Yet most people misuse this gift of imagination. They rehearse scenes of failure. They imagine the worst possible outcome. They see themselves rejected, broke, ill, or defeated. Without realizing it, they are building a future they do not want, brick by brick, thought by thought. The law of life does not distinguish between the positive and the negative. It only brings forth what is vividly impressed upon the mind. Therefore, the wise soul must take hold of imagination and use it as a faithful servant, not a careless master. When you hold a picture of success, when you see yourself walking in abundance, when you imagine doors opening and opportunities flowing, you are rehearsing the life you wish to live. You are setting the stage for the unseen forces to arrange circumstances in harmony with your vision. To imagine is not to indulge in fantasy. It is to plant the seed of reality, for every visible thing was once invisible, every physical form was once a thought. The house you live in was once an architect's drawing. The book you read was once a writer's vision. The clothes you wear were once only a design in the mind of a creator. And just the same, your future is now being designed by the images you allow to dwell in your imagination. Imagination is strongest when combined with feeling. If you see yourself wealthy but feel lack, the image has no power. But if you see yourself wealthy and feel the joy, the freedom, the gratitude of that wealth, the image becomes alive. The universe responds to the vibration of feeling, and feeling makes the vision magnetic. That is why it is not enough to merely say the words. You must also see it, feel it, and live it within, until it becomes impossible for it not to appear without. Imagination is also the cure for fear. Fear is nothing but the misuse of imagination, a picture of disaster painted so vividly that it feels real. To conquer fear, you must replace the image. Whenever fear arises, immediately close your eyes and see the opposite. If fear shows you loss, imagine gain. If fear shows you sickness, imagine health. If fear shows you rejection, imagine love and acceptance. The mind cannot hold two images at once, and the stronger image will always win. Therefore, choose deliberately the pictures you create. The law is unfailing. What you imagine with faith and feeling will sooner or later manifest in your life. Guard your imagination as you would guard a treasure, for it is the very workshop of destiny. Dream boldly, see clearly, feel deeply, and the unseen will become the seen. The fifth key point is that gratitude multiplies blessings, for whatever you give thanks for expands, and whatever you complain about diminishes. Gratitude is not simply a polite habit, it is a spiritual force, a magnet that draws more of the good you acknowledge. When you are grateful, you are declaring to the universe that you recognize abundance, and the universe, in turn, sends you more of it. Many people close the door to their good because they fix their attention on what is missing instead of what is present. They wake up thinking of bills unpaid, opportunities lost, relationships broken, and they wonder why the cycle of lack continues. But to those who can pause, even in the smallest circumstances, and give thanks, life opens wide and pours out blessings far beyond expectation. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the little into the much, the delay into preparation. It is the language of faith spoken before the miracle arrives. When you say, "Thank you for my health, thank you for my prosperity, thank you for the love that surrounds me," even if these blessings have not yet appeared in full, you are affirming that they are already yours in the invisible. Gratitude is a declaration of ownership. It is the act of claiming what is unseen as though it were already in your hands, and because the universe obeys faith, it must deliver what you have so boldly acknowledged. Ingratitude, on the other hand, blocks the flow. To complain, to doubt, to focus on what is missing is to tell life, "I do not believe in my abundance," and life, responding to that signal, withholds more. Gratitude shifts your perception. When you give thanks for even the smallest blessing, a meal on your table, a breath in your lungs, the sunlight upon your face, you awaken to the richness that already surrounds you. The more you notice, the more there is to notice. Gratitude is like a lens that brings into focus the treasures you once overlooked. And as your vision changes, so does your reality, for life always reflects the state of your inner world. A grateful heart creates a world of plenty. A complaining heart creates a world of lack. Even in difficult times, gratitude has the power to turn sorrow into strength. When trials come, give thanks not for the pain, but for the lesson, the growth, the hidden blessing waiting to be revealed. This attitude transforms burdens into stepping stones. It declares, "I trust that all things are working together for my good," and because that trust aligns with divine law, the trial soon reveals itself as a hidden gift. Gratitude lifts you above circumstances and places you in harmony with abundance itself. To live in gratitude is to live in continuous prayer. It is to walk through life with open hands and an open heart, constantly receiving and constantly acknowledging. Gratitude is not an occasional practice. It is a way of being. Speak it in the morning, speak it at night, speak it in the face of challenges, and watch how your world transforms. For the soul that gives thanks is the soul that never lacks. The sixth key point is that love is the highest law, and it is the force that dissolves all barriers and brings every good thing into your life. Love is not a weak sentiment, nor is it merely an emotion that comes and goes with circumstances. True love is divine power in action. It is the vibration that heals sickness, removes resentment, restores broken relationships, and magnetizes abundance. Where fear repels and anger divides, love unites and multiplies. To walk in love is to walk in harmony with the creative law of the universe, for God is love, and when you express love, you align yourself with the source of all supply. Many people fail to see this truth, and instead allow bitterness, envy, or hatred to dwell in their hearts. They may pray for prosperity, yet secretly resent those who prosper. They may speak affirmations of success, yet harbor jealousy toward others. Such inner conflicts block the flow of good, for love and resentment cannot coexist. Love is the great dissolver of obstacles. When you choose love, grudges lose their hold, fear loses its grip, and limitation melts away. If there is someone who has wronged you, love them, not in human sentiment, but in divine truth. See them surrounded by light, wish them well, and release them to the higher law. In doing so, you free yourself, for resentment is a chain that binds you, not them. Love cuts that chain and restores peace to your soul. When you affirm, "Divine love now dissolves everything unlike itself in my mind, body, and affairs," you are opening the door for healing, harmony, and abundance to flow. Love does not ask you to approve of wrong behavior, but it does ask you to rise above it, to see beyond the shadow and recognize the divine spark in every being. Love also magnetizes prosperity. When you love your work, love your surroundings, love the people you encounter, you create an atmosphere of joy that attracts success. Money itself flows more easily to those who love its purpose, who use it with gratitude and generosity rather than fear and greed. Opportunities are drawn to a heart filled with love because love radiates a frequency that others can feel. It uplifts, it inspires, it reassures, and it opens doors that skill alone cannot open. Even the body responds to love. A heart filled with bitterness weighs heavy and creates disease, but a heart filled with love generates vitality, peace, and strength. Speak words of love over your body. I love every cell of my being. I love the life flowing through me. Love creates wholeness where there was once division. To live in love is to live in alignment with the divine plan. It is to see the good in others, to forgive quickly, to give freely, to expect the best in every situation. Love is the golden key that unlocks every door. Whatever your desire, health, wealth, happiness, love is the foundation upon which it rests. Walk in love, speak in love, act in love, and you will find that life responds with blessings pressed down, shaken together, and running over.